Hello everyone, this is Barbie. I'm here to do a quick flip through of my new folio, which is called The Farm, Animals, and People. It's going to, it was a challenge actually by Carol Tennyson, and so it was a really fun thing to do, and I think I'll probably end up doing another one. This is going to be a gift, so it was a really challenge for me when I first started thinking about what I was going to do. But as I started moving through it and trying to think about what I would put in it and how I should put it together, I think it was a really beneficial thing. Anyhow, so let's get started. It's going to take me a little bit to get this done. So this is three different pieces. This is a journaling folio, a smaller one that you could like put in your purse or whatever. This is a larger folio, a larger journal below it. And then the bottom is a folio. So this tie here was an idea I got from Gina at Firefly 67 Studios. I cannot remember exactly how she did it. I looked to see if I could find her video. I couldn't find it. So this is my take on what I remember that she did. I just remember it was really cute and I thought, I want to do one of those. So here we go. Just use some of my coffee dyed fabric, and this is what it looks like. It's just little snippets put together on some fabric and stitched it on and put on some little buttons and lace, etc. Okay, let me take this and put this aside, and I'll just do one at a time. This is my second video, so hopefully I can get this one right. The last one you couldn't see because I thought I was in frame and I wasn't. C'est la vie. This is a little charm I put on there. It says laugh, and then it has a little W on it, which is just a little alphabet I had on a bulb pen, antique button that I had in my stash, and it just comes undone like so. It just holds it shut. These are digitals from Artie Mays and Tracy Fox collaboration. It's called I'm going brain dead here. It's Nature's Remedies. There you go, Nature's Remedies. Anyhow, it's beautiful paper, and I printed it on canvas. It's gessoed canvas, and then I stitched all around it, and it just feels really, really good. It feels like a soft glove fabric is what it feels like. And then I used a 3-hole pamphlet stitch to stitch it in, so it's fairly durable and soft. Then on the inside, I printed a coordinating sheet from the same digis. And make sure I'm in. I don't want to do this again. Yep, okay. That looks pretty good. Anyhow, so this is a collage of different papers I had in my stash. I'm not sure exactly whose all these papers were because I've had them in for a while, and I just used my coffee dyed papers I did. Some different ones. Some other, something from a book I have. I used some old placemats in order to get that image on there. This is an image I've had for a long time. Don't remember where I got it from. Beautiful little girl. In fact, she reminds me of my granddaughter. And I believe this is my porch prints. And I don't remember the name of it, but it's a beautiful digi. A recipe card I had. Again, just some miscellaneous digis I had that I don't even remember whose they are. I'm sorry for that. Apologize. Anyhow, I thought it all went well together. Okay, that's that. Okay, and here's the other journal. This is a large journal. So let me see. That other one, I'll measure it real quick just for grins. It's 8 by 5 inches. And this one is very large. It's 8 1/4 by 10 1/2, and which is large, and it's bigger than a piece of regular what do you call it, letter paper, letter size paper. But let me tell you this real quick. This is a digital I did on the Photoshop, and it's several different digitals I put together in a collage. That's what that is. And it's printed on, same thing here, and it's all printed on canvas. Okay. This is something I was thinking about covering up, but it has a lot of really cool information about robins on here, so I decided not to, since this is a farm nature journal. Let me make sure I'm in frame. This is where I messed up last time. I thought I was in frame and I wasn't. Okay, again, a little collage I did, Tracy label. I have a little stamp, so I stamped the day that I did this. It doesn't have a year. Yeah, it did have a year. I think it did have a year. I should have done the year too, but anyhow, I just put the day on there. And this is some of my original artwork. It's a watercolor sunflower painting I did, and it was just in my stash, and I thought, you know, I need to give this to someone, that somebody else can look at it and hopefully enjoy it. So I decided to use it as a card in here. I have some of my original prints and some of my original watercolors in here as well. This is a little book I put on the back, like a little notebook. And the reason I was able to do this huge journal like this is my son works for the co-op, and they throw away their maps periodically because they're out of date or whatever. So he gave me a whole bunch of these maps, and so I coffee dyed them up, and they're huge. So it gives me a lot of space that I can make larger journals with. So all of these are just pretty well the maps and the blank pages. This is a graphic 45, I believe, digital from the premium membership, and I believe it's just in black and white, butterflies and all different things. Anyhow, it's a really beautiful digi, and I printed it on vellum. Okay, let's get through this. This is just some of my coffee dyed papers, a little collage I did, and some other little digis I have. Don't know. I think it's Victoria design, but I'm not sure. Again, some of my coffee dyed papers, and I used some plastic placemats, and that's what gave me that design. And I think this is antique potpourri, if I remember right. I did a little bit of mixed media on the back, put some little painted buntings on there. And there's a really cool saying, "How great the yield from a fertile field," which ties in with my farm theme. And then there's a quote from Psalms 126:6 here. And this talks about bearing precious seed. "He that goeth forth and weepeth, bearing precious seeds, shall doubtless come again with rejoicing, bringing his sheaves with him." And I thought it was really pretty. Again, graphic fairy. Some more of my cutouts where I fussy cut out of a book. This is the other side of that page I did on the back of that digi. Another little digi I had. Just putting these in here for a little bit of extra journaling room at a different level, a different size, and some pages of interest. And I thought these maps, if she wants to, you know, she could just collage on top of there or do whatever she wants to, you know. They're open for interpretation. I believe that's a graphic fairy Digi black and white butterflies. I think it's from the same group as that. These are all maps of Texas, which is where I live. This is a beautiful print from that book, which is what determined the size of this journaling book, because I wanted to use some of these pictures, and I couldn't bring myself to fussy cut these out because they're just too gorgeous, just the way they are. So I was scratching my head trying to figure out how can I use these because they're huge. And this is what I came up with, using these papers so I could save the whole print. I've got a whole bunch of them out of this book, and I'm so excited I'm able just to, you know, save the whole print. Okay, there's that. Moving on. Okay, now here's the folio. All right, let me see if I'm going to be in. I'm going to have to move it back and forth to make sure I'm in frame, but that looks pretty good. Okay. All right, this was a real work in progress when I started trying to figure out how to do this, because Carol really gave us a challenge, especially if you've never done a folio before. It can be a little bit intimidating, to say the least, and I haven't been doing this very long, so I was like, what am I going to do here? So I took probably about a week just looking at it, thinking, I don't even know where to start. So I started out with my collage, and that got me going. I knew I wanted to do a kind of a farm, animal, country theme, so that gave me a direction. Anyhow, I did a video on just doing the collaging to kind of get me going and to let people know, you know, you can do this. You just have to kind of start. Like with anything else, you start. This right here is a little diacrylic glass. I used to do diacrylic glass jewelry, and I have a lot of it. So I wanted to put a little charm or something on there, and I thought that looked really pretty with the colors, the yellows and the reds, and anyhow. And that's a little sterling silver bell. And this is some twine, and I needed something to kind of keep this together. When I have it all together with the journals and everything on top, it keeps it together. But when you take the journals off, then this wasn't, it was kind of like going, you know. So I had to come up with something. So this is what I came up with. And if you flip it over, there's also a pocket on the back. And I wanted to use this big old pretty button, this antique button. So I put that on the flap, and then I couldn't figure out how I was going to tie it all together. So this is what I came up with. I put one of these hitch post, Tim Holtz hitch post, in the middle here. Since I wasn't mounting my journals inside, I put that in there, and I just hooked it and twisted it, so that by twisting it and hooking it around this little button, you can adjust the depth of your journal. So the more you put in the journal, the less you have to twist it. That was my thought, anyhow. So here we go. I'll have to get up and down, make sure I'm in frame. I'm not going to do this again. Okay, I'll just move it back and forth and try to keep it in the center there. If y'all see me getting out of frame, just holler. I mean, you know, holler real loud. So this is one flap that comes from the back side. As you can see, I just collaged that one. This is a little tutorial that Wendy with Wendy's Journal Adventures did, and she used 2 envelopes, and she cut one in half and made this top section here, and she uses these in a lot of her journals. This goes in here because I had taken it apart, so I'm not going to put that back. So that goes in there. Each one of these have a little, and I believe this is 1840s graphic fairy. I think that's the digitals for that. Anyhow, that slips in there. This one has the butterflies, and I just love the way it turned out. It is really a little fun project, and this little tag right here keeps this from flopping open. As you can see, that holds it in. Just ingenious. She's just an ingenious person when it comes to doing journals. And then I just collaged the back here, and I'll put that together later. This is some little bunnies I did. It's a napkin collage. Okay, now let me see if I can get that in. All right, that looks pretty good. All right, first let me start over here. This is an envelope, and it's an envelope that I ran through the printer as an envelope. And what it did is it printed on both sides of all of the surfaces of the envelope. So it looks like it's all glued on, but it's not, it's printed on. And I forget who it was that had that tutorial, but it is really a cool tutorial. It's a cool way to do it. Okay, this is a little CD case that I got from Caroline on Etsy, and I'll put all of the materials I used and the digitals, etc., in links below. Little Tim Holtz paper clip to hold it together. Collaged on the back. Collaged this all out. I used washi tape here to make it a little bit stronger. And this is one of my original paintings. And I used paper I got from Roxy Creations for the background. This is called Breakfast at Tiffany's. It's a little wren I painted. And oh, and it's a journaling card. There you go. Okay, I'm gonna move that. I'm just gonna move this out of the way so I don't take so long. Some lace I collaged on there. This is a digital I got from Tailor-Made Journal, Lorna over Tailor-Made Journals. And I printed it as I did a lot of this on canvas, inkjet printer canvas. And it comes out so cool because it's like, it's fabric. And it's just really, I really like the way that came out. Okay, these are some, this is a really, an old calendar, 1899 advertisement calendar. And a friend of mine had the original, and she allowed me to make a copy. So I made a copy, scanned both the front and the back. So you get the way the calendar actually looked, which turned out really cool. This is some other collaging I did. These are the little die-cut flowers that I did the watercolor background, which was a challenge on the 100-day project through Roxy Creations, and it was a challenge using watercolors. This is my porch prints, and again, I think that's a Artsy May label from her Butterfly Specimen Digi, and a Tracy Fox. And this is another one of my original paintings, which I just cut down into tags and made a huge tag out of it. So it's very heavy paper, it's real thick. Now stamped on the back, these are Tim Holtz stamps, which are let's see, this right here is Farm Animals, I believe it's called. And then these two numbers are the field notes. Both of those stamp groups are just, I just think you just have to have them. I'm sorry, I just think you gotta have them because they're just a necessity. They're a necessity in my book. Okay, now I'm gonna move that kind of into the center and make sure I'm getting it. Oh, I better stand up. All right, that should be in frame. Okay, because this is what I lost last time. There you go. All right. So this is one of those little clasp envelopes, brown envelopes that you can get, and I just collaged it, made a big boo-boo on this one, and as you can see, I got the fabric and everything. I covered the flap. I had it all just perfect. I was so happy with myself. I had it glued in. Everything was done, and I laid it down, and I closed this flap, and this was too long. So, word to the wise, learn from my mistakes. Measure before you glue it, and make sure especially if you've got something flapping in on it, is what I'm saying. So what did I do to fix it? I just thought about it for a while, and I ended up just cutting it off right here and then that way I used this flap to glue it back on, and it worked out fine. I didn't put anything inside of here. I'll leave that to the person, whoever it is, the lady who gets this. This is going to be a love gift. Okay, I set this off to the side, catty corner, as my dad would say, because I didn't want to cover up this really pretty picture here. And it's of I don't know if you can see it or not, but I'm not going to try to lift it up, but it's a really cool picture that Lorna has in that Down on the Farm, a digital kit, which I would highly recommend if you're doing anything having to do with farm, country, animals. She just has some of the most beautiful, authentic photos and different old pieces of paper, and anyhow, go over and check her out. I'll put her link down below. This is also printed on canvas as well. Okay, now this right here was a little paper bag I had coffee dyed, and did a little snippet collage on here, which I attached, and that was Roxy Creations challenge, which I really love these little collages. This is Artie Mae's butterfly specimen digi, and some of her paper inside just for a little journaling. Okay, and then this flips over like so, and this is a little, like I said, it's a little paper bag, so you can lift it up. I put some magnetic pieces in here and covered them with washi tape so that you didn't see the magnet strip. So then you could put, something inside here if you wanted to, and then that kind of clips shut. Okay, this is Graphic Fairy. I can get that all the way put in there, but anyhow, I'll take it out so you can see it. Graphic Fairy, I believe it's called Floral Photo Frames. Anyhow, it's on their premium site. This is just a little, I don't know where I got this from, but I love this because it reminds me of when I was a little girl and I would go visit my grandma, and she would let me go feed the chickens and pick the eggs, as she called it. And it brings back memories, fond memories of my granny. This is some of my tea-dyed paper. I just made a copy of it because I'm running out of tea-dyed paper, or coffee-dyed paper rather. And so I need to do some more. So I just made a copy. And that goes back in this little, let's go back in here. I'm going to push it all the way down in there so I can see the little girl's face. Okay, this is another one of my paintings I did. It's of a little girl that I just thought was the cutest little girl I've ever seen, and she has this little mischievous smile on and those little pearly white teeth, and she just made me happy when I looked at her. So I thought, I have to paint this little girl. So I made a copy of her. This is a print, and I signed all my prints just to let people know they are mine, because some of them I had to make smaller because of the size factor of everything, and it cut off my signature, so I would re-sign it if that happened, and even if it didn't, I went ahead and re-signed it. Okay, and this little idea here is a Wendy's idea from Wendy's Journal Adventure, and their coin protectors. Again, that's a stamp that I did on fabric from Field Notes, Tim Holtz. Just some other collages I did. This right here is one of, you can see it on this side too, Sarah from Roxy Creations. It's her little digital, which has some beautiful doilies in there. Again, that is Lorna over at TaylorMade. Some of the little vegetable advertisements. And here's Mr. Leo. I did a tag and some, it was a challenge of Leo through the 100-Day Challenge project. And so I had some Mr. Leo left over, so I thought he just had to be put in here because he's watching these birds. He really likes to watch the birds. So I thought that was perfect in there. Again, some of my prints out of a book, my nature books, and also from some of my bird books I have. And then I'll make sure I'm in. Yeah, that's good enough. So if I leave it right there, maybe I can get it in. Okay, this is from, I didn't put anything in here, I just backed it so that you could put your own pictures in there. Again, that's from Graphic Fairy floral photo frames. And I didn't want to put too much bulk in here, so I just added those on there. And I think that if the lady who gets this, if she wants to put more in there, she can. We'll leave it up to her. This is come from a card that I received, and also have this print. And I don't remember the lady's name who does these paintings, but I just love her paintings. They're watercolor bunnies and flowers, and they're just beautiful. But this was a gift card that I got, and it's embossed. So I did fuzzy cut it out and put it on some fabric, and it's just perfect for this little page here. And this is a little rose I painted. Did a tutorial on that, so I decided to put that on there as a fuzzy cut. And then I collaged the back and left a little place for journaling. And this is a little notepad I did. And it's from some merchandise packing. I think it was something Tim Holtz, I don't know. But anyhow, it was the background of the packing just looked like it was supposed to be that way. So I thought, yeah, make a good notepad. So that's what this is. This background paper is from Shabadabadoo.Tina. And it's Butterfly House, I believe is what it's called. And I did a little digital butterfly there, some Tim Holtz paper dolls. And then on the back, I put one of these little cards in there for a little quick journaling card. And then I made a swing for these two little ladies to be sitting on, because they're sitting down, you know. They had to have something to sit on. You just couldn't sit them in the air. So I made them a swing. And they're happy. You see how they like that swing. I knew they would. So I put that on there like that. And, ooh, that's my wings up there. Okay. Let me move this over here again. I have to move it. Oh gosh. Not easy to film this thing. Alright. It looks like it's good. Yep. Okay. This one here, we're about done. This is when I saw this, it just reminded me of the stories I heard from my daddy when he was talking about his daddy and how they had to plow the fields with these old horses, and the old horses had names, and I don't remember what their names were, but you know, it was old this or old that. They always called everything an old something or other. And they made these, I saw this thing back behind that they're pulling on the horse, and it was made out of old pieces of wood, and they had some kind of metal spikes they would nail through there. And it was used after they plowed the fields up. It was used to level the field out before they planted. And so it just reminded me of the stories my dad used to tell about how they used to have to farm. So this is I found this little picture of these two little girls. It was in black and white. At one of the junk shops I went to one day, and it just reminded me of me and my sister. And when we had to go to church, Mama would say, "Now, you girls, go get your Sunday go-to-meeting clothes on, because we got to get ready to go to church." And I thought to myself, "Oh, Ma, do I really have to put those old stiff dresses on?" And so I would, you know, begrudgingly, I'd go get my Sunday go-to-meeting dresses on. And your Sunday go-to-meeting shoes, you had to put those on. So that's what this picture reminded me of, and that's why I painted it, because I thought to myself, well, she's passed, but my sister that was closest to me, it was that we were in that age group when we were like 2.5 years apart, and always Mama tried to dress us up just alike. And look at the big bows they have in their hair. They have a better look on their face than we did. Mom had always wanted, and that was another thing too. It was tradition. When you got your picture made, you had to go get on your Sunday go-to-meeting clothes, because that was the only good clothes we had. And most of the time we didn't have but just one dress, you know. And that had to last until maybe next year, when you might get a new dress, but by that time that first dress was wore out, so you had to have a new dress, you know. Anyhow, there's a journaling card. That's a little funny story. This again is from that tailor-made journals. Really pretty little label for buckwheat. I thought was just beautiful. I printed it on canvas as well. And then this is some paper that Rachel over at Roxy's Creation has as a digital, and it's just a beautiful pattern. It looked perfect with this. And these, I don't know where these little kids came from, but they were in my stash. And that just looks like kids from the farm. And you can see how their dresses and their clothing look pretty handmade, I'd say. Yeah, probably don't look like they had a bath maybe a week ago, possibly. But they had their pictures made, and here it sits. And I thought to myself, I have to share that for sure. Made some little tabs up there, as you can see. Journaling card. Now this is my thought. I wanted to kind of get the whole family in here. Here's Dad, he's out in the field working. Here's the kiddos, and here's Mom. And she's out in the hayfield raking up hay. And you can see from the look on her face, hope you can see that, she's dreaming of something other than raking up hay for sure. And I thought it was just perfect. Anyhow, I'll put that little piece of lace on there. I'll put those over there for right now. Okay, we're moving on here. This is a flip-flop, and a little glassine envelope, and just some fussy cut butterflies I have out of my book. Another little tag I made. This is Rachel over at Roxy Creation, her Italian paper, I believe it is. I just love that paper. I believe that's some of my porch prints, little fussy cut birds. Some more of my little die-cut watercolor flowers I cut out. Some music in the background. Butterflies I did a mirror cut. I did the mirror print and then put them on there so they would have a front and a back to them. That flips over like that, and then this undoes like so. And this is, I tried to keep this not too bulky because I didn't want it to bow out, you know what I'm saying? So that's why, and I when I cut this out, I wanted to make sure the birds, it all met together, so I cut it out of one page and matched up the print. Okay, another glassine envelope. This is one of the 100-day projects from Rachel over at Roxy Creation, and this was a challenge of doing leather and lace, but neither her or I had any, whoops, get out of here, it's a fly. Neither her or I had any leather, so we just did the lace and paper, but it worked out fine. Put some little birds in the back, covered the back with some of my coffee dyed paper, little snippets up at the top. And I thought the blue birds went good with the blue background. These are some of my paintings, the prints of some of my paintings. I didn't put this on canvas. This is just on photocopy paper, but it turned out really pretty. And then backed it and stitched around it. And these two little pockets it goes in like so. And this paper here is Prima, called Stationery or Stationer's Desk. This is one of my last paintings I did. It's peach colored roses, watercolor. And I put some, what's the name of that? 149 or something like that. I forget the name of that paper pack. So they fit in there like so. It goes like so. And I hope you enjoyed my flip through it was a really fun project, and I would highly recommend you trying it. I think you would really have fun working with it. It was a real challenge. I won't say it wasn't, but that's how you grow, is by doing something that's a little bit of a challenge to you, you know? You can't just always do the same old, and then that all fits together like so. Oh, and this is the back. I didn't even show you the back. Okay, I'm gonna make sure I'm in frame. There's nothing to the back really, other than I just collaged it. Here's the little heart cutouts that came from the other challenge, and they had the hearts in the middle and then the hole, so you used all of it. I don't remember where that little bunny came from. This is a folio pocket, and it's a, what do you call it? It's got the little accordions on the side, so it comes out. Oh, this is another one of my paintings. It's Grandma's house. There's a little chicken there. I don't know if you can see that or not. Hollyhocks, which is what my grandma always grew. And she always had a bunch of flowers in her yard. So it's an homage to my grandmother and all her flowers and her beautiful chickens and everything. So that's it for me. And I hope, I hope y'all enjoyed my flip through. And I hope you will try it yourselves. And I can guarantee you, it's a challenge, but it's a lot of fun. So, this is Barbie. Until next time, be happy, keep crafting, and enjoy your life. Because every day is a blessing. See you next time. Bye-bye.